Please watch out for this. State lawmakers have just made an important announcement regarding relief payments and the Internal Revenue Service. Some of you may owe the federal government more money this tax season. Officials say this may happen if you have received state tax rebate checks. My dear friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video for the latest breaking news. Also, I will be announcing the winners of yesterday's Walmart gift card giveaway, so please make sure that you do stay tuned.
The shortage that my colleague from Maryland mentioned is certainly true in Oregon. We're estimated about 110,000 units short. But in addition, we have the challenge that any developer wants to develop high-end housing because there's so many folks to the south of us in California, in the San Francisco area, where the dot-com boosted the value of houses, so you can sell your house for $1 million+, move to Oregon. So there's a ready supply of buyers for high-end, and so a developer doesn't want to develop normal family housing when they can make more money building McMansions. I want to turn to a different part of the puzzle, though, and that is the involvement in hedge funds. Since 2009, when we had massive foreclosures, they were sold in bulks of 1,000 or more houses at a time. The only people who could buy them were hedge funds. Hedge funds discovered that this was a fabulous investment, both from appreciation that would have gone to middle-class families. I lobbied the Obama administration hard to make them available to families because they were being sold 50 cents on the dollar at the time. And they said it was just too complicated, and they were worried about slowing the process where houses might be exposed to frozen pipes or vandals stripping copper or so forth. But the long and short of it is the hedge funds became deeply invested in this market, and they've continued to do so, seeing how fabulously profitable it is. They're buying now about a quarter of the houses that are available, especially in the southern markets, places like Phoenix and Atlanta. But it's affecting states like Oregon as well. Ms. Bailey, this situation affects rents and the price of home ownership both. And people said, well, how does it affect the renters? And my basic understanding that I want clarification from you on is, first of all, if an investor pays more for a house, they're going to charge higher rents, going to drive up the rental market in general. But also, if renters who have the income to buy a house can no longer buy a house because they're competing against a hedge fund, that means they don't move out of the rental housing, and that rental housing supply is going to remain shorter and therefore at a higher market price. Can you help us understand, are the hedge funds having an impact on the affordability of rents as well as home ownership?
Yes, Senator, as you explained it, that's exactly right. We're really concerned about renters, especially higher income renters who are staying in the market longer than they would otherwise, and therefore driving up the cost because 30% of their income is higher, and so they can pay more. But we're also concerned for the renter themselves, not only paying more rent, but also for families, in particular families with kids. Single family housing is one of the ways that is really important to them. It provides the size. It's often in places with better schools and other amenities that families with kids need. And so we really need to maintain an affordability in the single family rental market for low-income families with kids.
Now, friends, according to the Associated Press, the Internal Revenue Service says the nearly $1 billion in state tax rebates sent to more than 2 million residents of Minnesota will be subject to federal income taxes. Despite pleas from state officials, the federal tax bite out of the checks and direct deposits could cost taxpayers between $26 and $286, depending on income and how much they received. The State Department of Revenue has sent a form to all recipients to use when filing their federal individual income tax return this year. The IRS had been saying since December that it considers the rebates to be federally taxable income, which surprised state officials and sparked a flurry of lobbying by Democratic Governor Tim Walz and members of the state's congressional delegation to try to reverse that decision. The tax agency gave the state a final no in recent letters to the House Representatives Pete Stober and Angie Craig of Minnesota. IRS Commissioner Daniel Werfel told them that the rebates did not count as general welfare or disaster relief, which can be excluded from federal taxes. The rebates were part of a package of tax cuts approved in the 2023 legislative session to return a portion of a projected $17.6 billion budget surplus to taxpayers. Individuals were eligible for $260 if they had an adjusted gross income of up to $75,000 in 2021 and $520 for married filers who earned up to $150,000. Families also were able to receive an additional $260 rebate for up to 3 dependents, for a maximum rebate of $1,300. Representative Stober blamed careless legislative mistakes by the Walz administration and the Democratic-controlled legislature in crafting the tax bill. Governor Walz said Minnesota was treated unfairly because the IRS decided the rebates were not the same as crisis air relief that was passed in other states. The federal government ended the health emergency on May 11th. Governor Walz signed legislation authorizing the rebates on May 24th. Arizona residents who receive a family tax rebate will have some of it taxed by the Internal Revenue Service. The Arizona Department of Revenue announced on January 16th that those who receive the Arizona Families Tax Rebate will need to report it on their tax returns, meaning it is subject to federal income tax. The rebate pays out $250 per dependent under the age of 17, with a cap of $750 for eligible families. The department describes a rebate as families' first funds that recognize your contributions to our thriving state, and we could not be more excited to put money back into your pocket. Nearly 750,000 families are eligible to receive it, and this is according to Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs. They said the determination was not made by the Arizona Department of Revenue. The rebate remains exempt from Arizona state tax. Many have said the IRS has no right to force families to pay taxes on the rebate, claiming that some families will end up paying the entire rebate to the Internal Revenue Service. Under legislatively provided social benefit programs should not be included in the federal gross income. Mays has written a letter to the IRS that similar programs in Alaska, California, Colorado, Delaware, Idaho, and Indiana were not subject to federal income tax. Republican State Senate President Warren Peterson has also pushed for the Internal Revenue Service to reverse its decision and has sent a letter to Danny Werfel to change his mind. Well, my amazing and most awesome friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. Dear friends, thank you so much for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, every Friday I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. The winners of yesterday's giveaway is Jennifer Pendergrass and Shayna Thomas. Congratulations, my dearest friends! To claim your gift cards, please check your notifications page and send me a message. Or friends, you could message me on my Facebook page. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed weekend.